The Surface Duo just got an xCloud update that might make all your gaming dreams come true. The Surface Duo is either a device that you think about a lot, or probably hadn't thought about it until I just said it a couple seconds ago. But the Surface Duo is Microsoft's first foray into the mobile device segment with a true mobile in a pretty long time. And the device launched with a lot of noise and energy, and then it's just kind of faded and fizzled. And it's been a little bit disappointing, I think, for some Surface fans overall. That being said, Microsoft is actually delivering an update. Well, they've released it, I think, this week, that brought some big new functionality that I think a lot of Xbox fans have been waiting for, myself included. So, xCloud, or cloud gaming, on this device has always been a bit of a disappointment because Microsoft didn't truly make use of both screens. It was the same Android app and experience that you would get on any other device, but this thing has two screens, and it would only work in this configuration where you have the game spanning both displays. And when you have that line right down the middle, it just doesn't make sense. Or you could turn it and it would only be on one display. But what Microsoft is introducing now is you're able to put the touch controls on one screen and put the gaming experience on another. So a true Nintendo 3DS, if you will, like experience for xCloud. Now I just fired up Minecraft Dungeons here. It is looking for a game, and it takes a minute or two to get up and running. Here we go. Now it's back and running. But what I did do is I did record some footage of me playing games, Gears of War, Killer Instinct, and Minecraft Dungeons here. And so I want to preface this with a couple things. First, I am standing like this, arms stretched out. I've got the camera in between me, and I'm trying to use touch controls. It's not a great setup, but what it will allow you to do is see how this experience works and how the touch controls interact in this environment. Just don't judge me for my gameplay experience that you're about to watch. So here you go. So you can see here, the nice thing is you get the game up top, and then you get the controls down below. Now, Microsoft has done some good work with the touch controls. They've actually customized them per title and made it a unique experience. But you can see here like how this is almost exactly like a Nintendo 3DS. It's something that we've all honestly wanted ever since the Surface Duo has come out, ever since the xCloud entered into beta, into cloud gaming. It's just been the setup that we've all desired and we've been waiting for from Microsoft. And so now we finally have it. Now, it doesn't work with every single game here. And just keep in mind that it's a game that supports touch controls, because touch controls have existed for cloud gaming for a little bit, but not always in the same fashion that we are seeing right here. And so you can see me walking through here trying to pick different characters, and it's pretty good. Now, I want to point out here that you'll watch me play this game, and it works pretty well. Like, this is a style game that I think is acceptable for cloud gaming, or more specifically, I should say, for cloud gaming using touch controls on a Surface Duo. Like, this works, and you'll see I actually do decent, given the fact that I'm standing with a controller in between, or a camera in between me, and it's it's a little tough to keep your arms stuck out for that long, and you'll see here the cutscenes. But again, it does work, and it's a unique experience. And this is something that I was hoping that Microsoft would have launched with, because it's just it gives the Surface Duo like a better value proposition than, say, over a traditional Android. But you can see here, you can see me. I mean, this is a typical button masher style shooter, first person like combat game. And it works. Like, it actually works decently well. Now, is this the perfect way to play Killer Instinct? Are you going to get the best scores, and are you going to be able to take down everybody who's using a traditional controller? I don't think so. But if you're sitting on a bus, or you're in the back of a car, or the back of a classroom, or the back of anything, this would be more than acceptable. Like, it's honestly enjoyable. Like, I actually had a decent amount of fun, given the fact that it was late at night and I couldn't really say anything, and I was in a really awkward arrangement. Because the other thing too is these screens are both really reflective. They're phone screens after all, and so keeping the lights and everything out of them and not shining and reflecting in that capacity. But you can see here again, like, it does work. Like, Microsoft finally got it right, and this is a relatively ergonomic setup. Now, why I said the title makes the difference about whether or not this is something that you should explore is because Gears of War is not a game I would recommend in really using it in this fashion. Like, this needs a proper controller. You'll see me kind of struggle here, but the reason why I brought this up is, one, look at the customization for the touch controls. Like, they all exist, and Microsoft again is trying to make this functionality work. I'm just not quite sold that FPS titles with touch controls in this arrangement is the best use, and it gets a little. when you have the 3D moving and you need to use both thumbsticks at the same time, it gets a little hard. I mean that's an honest conclusion. Like, especially when you can't be looking at the screen the whole time, you lose that tactile feel and feedback. And so this isn't necessarily an arrangement that I would say, hey, we should all go out and try. Just because you'll see here, like it just doesn't feel normal. That's not to say that you can't eventually make it good and eventually excel at Gears of War, but it's just not for me. Now, if there is one game that I absolutely would recommend, it's this one. Minecraft Dungeons, I think, might be like the optimal game setup and arrangement for the Surface Duo using cloud gaming. Like this was actually a lot of fun, and I ended up recording this for a lot longer than expecting and playing it, and because it worked. Like this is the style of game, like this, something like this, something like Ori, sort of like platformers, if you will, I think work really, really well with Surface Duo in this cloud gaming configuration. I think it kind of comes down to like games that are strictly like first-person shooter reaction based, where you've got to be able to duck and dodge and move in 3 directions or 3 dimensions, could get a little bit tough. Now, Minecraft Dungeons here, you can see like it works. Like this is a game that I would recommend everybody give a shot who has a Surface Duo and wants to try out the touch controls. Start here and then advance onward to like Killer Instinct, and then maybe try Gears of War, because I think your experience will go from great right here to good with Killer Instincts to okay, to maybe even bad potentially with Gears of War. But I mean, look at this, like the custom configurations of the keypad here, it's well done. Like this is the thing that I wanted Microsoft to launch with, because it's really showcasing the Surface Duo in a way that is unique. Like no other device. I mean, yes, there are other foldables at the end of the day that could do this, but I think the Surface Duo, it really kind of stands out. And this is this is a product of Microsoft through and through. You've got Microsoft hardware running a Microsoft cloud gaming streaming service, running a Microsoft game. This is the Microsoft experience that they want, and it's pretty good. And I will tell you, like I've got it even right here, and I'm headed out on a road trip here soon, and this might be coming along. Just because it is kind of that good. There are some, you want to definitely, I don't know if you could just see that, you want to lock the screen rotation when you play, because as you move around, if the sensors in the device sort of trip, as they just did there, it can get a little squirrely. This is all, I don't know if the official touch controls are still in beta, but Microsoft's app still looks like it's still in beta. So there is that caveat that this isn't perfect yet. Cloud gaming, I don't have any issues with, but I'm not sure if the touch controls are in beta or whatever the official terminology is. That being said, is this going to be the ultimate iteration for cloud gaming from Microsoft? It might be, and I say that with a caveat, like it might be from a device where you don't need anything else, right? Like I was looking for like my Razer Kishi is like a really good device, or if you have a clip with a controller, that's another good way to use it, but you have to bring stuff with you. If you don't have anything to bring with you and you just want to carry one thing in your pocket, I think this might be the ultimate way to do it, with the exception of not playing first-person shooter titles. Things playing like Minecraft or something like that, I think would be a really smart a decision. So the other downside is, though, is this a $1,400 experience? Roughly speaking, I think the Surface Duo has gone on sale a little bit, but it MSRP'd at around $1,400. No, it's really not. So this is for if you've got money to burn and you want a unique cloud gaming experience, this would be it. Otherwise, you could probably go get a cheaper phone and use like the Razer Kishi, and you probably have a better overall experience. But then you've got to bring multiple pieces of hardware in the phone and the Kishi. Although the Kishi does, kind of compact down quite nicely. So, anyways, Microsoft has shipped this update. Anybody can go out and use it. I'm really happy it's here. I just wish that it would have shown up on day one. But overall, like, pretty impressed. I think cloud gaming is really going to start to take off, or not take off, but come into its own, like find its niche about how people are going to use it. The Surface Duo is now a good example of how you can use cloud gaming in unique scenarios, and it works pretty well. Microsoft deserves some credit here. Like, I can't get over like how responsive, honestly, this is. Using touch controls, using a Surface Duo, using servers that are just not near my house or not where I am. It's good. It's the future of gaming. I don't know if everyone wants to agree with that, but I believe this is the future of gaming. Not necessarily maybe hardcore gaming, like people who love their consoles or whatever, or their gaming PCs, but for casual gaming, I think this is the future. And I think Microsoft is just getting started with the Surface Duo. Hopefully we'll see more, but keep it subscribed here, because the only BS on this channel is me.